Don't you? Do you all know your worth? Yes. How many people here are worth more than all the gold in the world? Oh no. Oh, you're worth why? Yes, you indeed are worth more than all the gold in the world, remember? Yes. Don't ever forget, folks, but I will tell you that we are worth more than all the gold in the world. And I found out, I come from County Kerry in the southwest of Ireland, and not far from where I come from, there's an old mountain called Anu, locally known as the Paps, or the translations are the breasts of Danu. And Danu was the goddess associated with the two-headed Daniel that brought those four magical fish to Ireland. And they built these two mountains in her honour. And on top of these two mountains there's cairns, and if you climb, there's two rock cairns on top, like the nipple. And it might be illegal in this country, I don't know if it is anymore. And these cairns would be 10 feet high when you climb upon them. And you can see them. And when the Celtic people came to Ireland, they fought with the two-headed Daniel on the side of Mish. And after the battle they came to an agreement that the Celtic people would take the upper land and the two-headed Daniel would take the underworld. And they became the She, the fairy people of Ireland. And when they went back to these old sacred sites and went back into the spirit world, into the earth. And they said they will reside beneath the earth until they are called and until they are needed. We need you! Well, anyway, I decided one day that I would go and wander. At the bottom of this place, I'll tell you about another place, these two mountains. At the bottom, there's a place called Curragh City. And Curragh City has only 3 houses in it. But it has this old Iron Age fort, double ring fort. And it's a very, very special place because there's powerful, powerful well in it that comes from beneath this mountain. And the reason this place, I think, is so special is because it's the most active ritual site in Ireland. And for the last 6,000 years, they have been lighting a fire here on May morning. And for some of you, May morning, for some of you that are not familiar with the Celtic year, as it goes around and around, there's 2 halves. At May Day, we cross into the light half, and Halloween, we cross into the dark. So at May morning, in Ireland, every fire in Ireland was extinguished the night before that. And everybody lived in darkness, because we were in the last night of the dark year. And then the first fire was lit at Ishnach in the very centre, where the old tree used to grow. And they say princes and princesses used to come up out of the Mediterranean for the lighting of that fire thousands of years ago. And when that fire was lit, the 4 seats of the high table would be lit, and once the fires were lit, they were rekindled all over once they were seen from the centre. And of course, down in Curragh City, it's aligned with Ishnach, which might be about 140 miles away from it. There's a big fire that in the Paps every year. And even coming into the Christian times, people gather there in the middle of the night and they walk around in the darkness, around the place doing their rounds. And then as the light starts getting brighter, you start to see, well, there used to be a lot more people. And people gathering around, and then they would say Mass and they'd light a fire for sunrise. And that tradition goes back eons. So I think it's the most active ritual site. But one day I decided I'm going to climb up to the mountain and go up to the cairn. And instead of going straight up the hill, I decided, I think I'm going to spiral around instead. As we're down the southwest of Ireland, with beautiful mountains. And as you go around, there's going to be, of course, the road is longer. I'm going to walk around, up higher. I was at about halfway, and I came to the view was beautiful, and I came across this pile of stones. And this is a limestone area, but this was all granite. And I was saying, who moved this? There's no road around this. It's just wrong. And I looked at these stones, and when you see stones moved in Ireland, I always go back and think, who moved them, what they were they moved from, is there any old carvings on them? And I started looking around, and there was one flat stone on the ground, and I decided I'd try to lift it up to see if there was. Oh! You know when something takes the breath out of you? I said, oh my God, nearly took the whole breath out of me. Trying to lift the stone out that's stuck in the ground. And as I was sitting there, all of a sudden I made the strength to take me in. And I got off the stone and I turned around and I lifted the stone up. Like, and what was under it? There was a round hole in the side of the mountain. Black as black could be in it. And I said, I looked around, I found a bit of a stick. And I picked up the bit of a stick and I went over to it. Move, move, move. nothing, just a black hole. And I was thinking, I wonder, is this where the two-headed alien went back into the spirit world? And when we talk about fairies in Ireland, you know what always comes to our mind? Shiny stuff. Where's the pot of gold? You know what I mean? You catch a fairy, you know, you catch a leprechaun, you've got to hold on to him. You can't take your eyes off him. He'll play loads of tricks on you. He'll say, look at the cow over there with two heads.